everyone, it's Tammy, and I know that I have mentioned before that I dabble in a little jewelry making, and today we're going to make a wire ring, I don't even know what you call it, just a ring that like has wire around it, and it's kind of like a bird's nest, and I think we might even do that another time because I want to make some of those, but these are just really kind of cute rings that are just kind of a little bit loud and just kind of fun, and you can use any kind of stone that you want. Kind of a flat round stone works the best, or an oval stone. I got these, I believe, at Hobby Lobby, and I will leave a link below on some of where I get some of my supplies, because there is a place called Spoilt Rotten Beads that I get things from online, and that's where I got these tools. They came in a cool little case, and I will say that if you don't plan on making a lot of jewelry, you can use tools that you have around the house. I have used lots of different things. I've used needle nose pliers that were my dad's. I've used like florist kind of wire cutters that you got at the dollar store, so you don't have to have like the real jewelry tools to do this. But I will say that you do it's nice to have the right tool for the job, and I will say these are wonderful. I love them. I love how they are easy to use, and they have this, whatever it's called, so that they like come back in your hand without too much effort. This is probably the 5th or 6th time I've used them, and I'm still very impressed every time I get them out to use, because they're just really nice. So the first thing we need to do is you need to use kind of a strong wire, and this is a 20 gauge, or I think it's a 0.8 millimeter gauge wire, and you need it to be kind of strong because this is what, you know, the ring is made of. And I would go ahead and cut, I don't know, maybe, let's see, it doesn't, I mean, the length isn't going to matter as much as obviously the ring is. So I don't know, maybe that long. I don't even know how long that is. I'll tell you in just a second. I'm just going to cut some off. And this is about, let's see, if this is 11 inches, so there's 11, it's a little over 2 feet long. And what I like to do to start, because they come in a ring usually like this, so they already are wanting to be wound up. So I take these, and these, I don't even know what they're called, but they just straighten the wire out. So if I just run the wire through here, just holding the end of it, it makes the wire, I mean, it doesn't make it perfectly straight, but it makes it a lot straighter so that you can work with it a little easier. So I'm going to take my wire, or my bead, and I'm going to put it on the wire and just let it fall to the middle. And then I like to kind of push it so that my wire is on the bead and it's not going to go anywhere, and it's just a little easier to control. And then one of these is, I'm not going to say a necessity, because you could use something else that's about the same diameter. If you have an old ring, or not an old ring, but a ring that fits, and you want to put it on something so that you can say, okay, well, it's this size, you can use that. If you're just making one, like I could say, okay, well, this is this size, so I could use this to make my ring. But you're going to want something, because this is the ring that fits this ring finger, so you want to make something that fits the ring that you want to wear, if that makes any sense. So if you don't have one of these, get something that a ring fits on that you like, and maybe even make it a little loose, because with all this wire, and even with these wires, it needs to be a bigger size than what you normally would wear, if I'm making any sense at all, so I apologize. Let me say that again. If you don't have a ring, whatever this is called, mandrel or something, then use something that is a little larger in diameter than your regular ring size, and just take a ring and put it around things that you have to find out, okay, this is just a little bit tight on this, so this might be a good thing for me to use for this project. Actually, I would even use this part, because I'd want it to be a little bit bigger than the diameter of this ring. So if that makes sense now, you don't have to have one of these. If you're just starting out and you're just going to make one ring, then use things you have around the house. But if you're planning on using or making these for a craft sale or for Christmas presents, which is what I like to do, and I think that's what I'm going to do with some of these rings, is I want to have one of these so that I can actually make different sizes. And you can find some that have sizes already marked on them. You can mark your own sizes. I've kind of been playing with it to get my sizes on here. So, like for example, this one fits my ring finger on my right hand, which is bigger than my left hand. But this is about the size of the pink one, and this is not, so here, this is a good example. The pink ring is where I'm going to make a normal size ring. The blue ring is the one where I'm going to try to aim more for this size because I want it to be a little bit bigger. And let's see if I put this on there. See, this is the pink ring. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense now. So I'm going to take this stone, and this is just a black one. You can buy whatever color you want, whatever you like. And I'm going to put it, I'm going to actually make it kind of between the pink and the blue lines. And I'm going to, I put this on so that the wires are in the back. And I'm going to then twist the wires and bring them to the front. And you will see that naturally one of them wants to go on top and one of them wants to go on bottom of the ring. Don't fight it, just let it be. So bring it around again and bring this one around again. And I'm kind of stretching it as I'm doing it just to pull it kind of tight. And then you just kind of want to make sure that you stay around where you want to be. And if you turn it over on the other side, and you won't have to do this, I just want to show you, there are 4 rings on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of wire. And that's all that it is for the base of the ring. There's 4 little things. So you're halfway done now. So then what you do, well, maybe not quite half, but almost. I'm going to put it back about where I want it, and I'm going to pull these kind of tight. And then you take one and you go around, all the way around the ring, or the bead. And then what I like to do is I meet the other one. Actually, I'm going to take this one around the other side. And then I just mess with them and bring them around and around and around. And I want to keep pushing the bead kind of close to whatever I am using to make the ring, because I don't want these wires to go underneath the bead. I want them to go around the bead. And how far out you make them or how close you make them to the ring, to the bead, is kind of up to you at this point. You have control over, like, if you want the bead to be, like, the wire to be really far out, or if you want it to be close. I would start the first ones to be pretty close so that the ring is pretty secure in there, but you can make them a little further out if you want to. Like now, if I wanted to go further out and make it more like a nest, I could. And you want to do this until you have about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches of wire left on each side. And just take it around. And you'll find a technique that works best for you. Sometimes I do like to hold it like this. It kind of allows me to make it pretty sturdy, and I feel like I'm pulling pretty tightly against it. And then when you think you have about as many wraps as you think you want, and you're running out of the wire, and it's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches on each side, that's probably a good time to stop. And at this point you can pull the ring off, and this might be a good time to try it on and make sure that it fits okay. Actually, this one's going to be a little bit snug. Wow. But I'll just go ahead and go with it, because if it doesn't fit me, it'll fit somebody. And it could just be that because I've been trying stuff on for so long. I don't know, that's kind of weird. I think my finger is swollen a little bit because this red one fits. So, okay, here we go. You will take these, and you can see how one of them is facing one direction and one of them is facing the other direction. That's perfect. I'm going to take it and bring it around. I don't want to start here where it ends. I want to bring it around the wire and then pull it through. And at this point, you can use wire, this to, whatever this is called, to make it tight, or you can just use it finger tight. And I kind of, at this moment, I still like to do it finger tight. But if you want it to be a little tighter, you can. I will use those in a minute, but I want to just go ahead and bring it around. And at any time when you feel like it might be misshapen, you can bring it back on here and shape it up a little bit. And what you're doing now is you are bringing all of these wires together so that it forms like a ring. And you want them to be in a single line, like these wires on the sides. You want it to be in a single, I don't even know what you'd call it, but you want these to be, like, you don't want them to be all up on each other. You want them to be in a single line down the side of it. And that's what you're forming now. You're just going around the ring. And you can also, if the ring is too small at this point, the more you go around on this, the smaller the ring will get. So you can kind of size a ring a little bit by putting more wire around the ring base. And I think that looks about good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and I'm going to push them together so that it looks nice. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a yank. And I'm bringing it around one more time because I want the end to end in the front. So at this point I can clip this off with the wire clippers. And then I take this, the plier things, and push that down so that it doesn't poke on anyone. And then I just kind of feel it and make sure that it's pretty good, and that feels great. So then you go to the other side and you do the same thing. So I go around. And this gauge wire is really good. It's you really wouldn't want any smaller gauge because this needs to be pretty sturdy, as it is the entire ring, but it's still flexible enough for you to work with, so it's not bad. You could probably use a 22, maybe even a 24 gauge. When I learned, it was with a 20 gauge, so that's kind of what I do. So I'm kind of using the pliers now just to get it going. And I don't make them exactly the same on each side necessarily, but I try to make them close. Because you really can't tell. I mean, if I'm not counting the number of times I go around. Although, I mean, you could. And the wire that I'm using is not stainless steel, but it is tarnish free or whatever that's called, so that it won't turn a different color. That is important if you're going to make jewelry, especially for someone else. And we all know it's costume jewelry, but you want it to look nice. So when I get in a background, I will cut this off. And then I'm just taking my pliers and pushing that in a little bit. And then I'm going to put it back on this just to kind of shape it a little bit more. And this one is a little smaller. I'm going to try to push it down just to get it a little bit tight. And okay, there we have it. So it's really pretty. I like how the ring turns out, and it's really quick to make. And you could do, obviously, all different kinds, all different sizes, all different colors, whatever stones you want to do. They're just really pretty and really easy to make, and I think that they would make great gifts. And I think that you should give it a try and let me know how it works out for you. So here are all three of them on this. Kind of pretty, and just kind of a wire beaded ring. And I bet you didn't know you could do it, but you can. Give it a whirl. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.